Hi everyone, art journal page today, and I've taken all kinds of gel prints and painty papers that I have, and I want to create some kind of a very wild abstract landscape. And I've almost gone, it's a kind of a rainbow here, just picked all kinds, and I wanted different patterns, different things going on. The only thing that interested me was the color, mostly the color. So these are the papers that I want to create my background, and I've taken this black Bristol paper that I want to create trees out of it, and for that I'm going to put some acrylic paint on top. If you don't have any kind of black paper, then you will start with black paint, first black paint, and then add the others. So I'm starting with this just because this will need to dry before I can use it, and the trees will be from here to here. So I'm flipping it over, and I'm starting with, let's start with the white. I'm taking a plastic card. You can do it with a palette knife if it's easier for you. And I'm just applying a little bit of paint and scraping it randomly. Okay? Whatever happens, happens. You can also cut the plastic card if it's easier for you to create more narrow scraping on your paper. I can also flip it like this, just so it would look different. I know right now it doesn't look like anything, but you will see how it will be by the end. So now I'm switching to some gray. I think I'll just put some here. Not sure how much of it you can see. It's quite light, the gray, but that's okay. I'll try and look if I have another acrylic paint, a darker shade of gray. Now I'm not looking to cover all of the black, but I do look for having all kinds of shades of in between. So part of the black will stay, and again I can go over and I can add more white. In small places like this. I have another paper that is already prepared, so I'm gonna show you how it would look at the end. And I can also go and add a little bit of black on top. You see? And this is all done randomly. And mostly the more layers that you do, the more interesting it would look. And just go randomly about it. Okay, so that's one, and here is another one that I've already finished and dry. It will wait for the end. And now I'm going to start with all these painty papers, collage papers, whatever you want to call them. And I'm starting here. Now I need to just, I'm going to move this mat because I will need to cut some of the papers. This one I think I've done on either deli paper or tissue paper, I'm not sure. It really doesn't matter. And if you don't have any painty papers, use whatever you have. It can be even a wrapping paper, it can be all kinds of scrapbook paper. And now I'm just going to tear it, and again I'm gonna do it quite random. Okay, yeah, this is going here, but now I'm thinking that I want to start from the top. It just the difference will be in the layering, because if I'm going to do the next layer, it would be on top of this, and I don't want it to be like this. I want the layers to be the other way around. So now I'm just going to switch. Okay, so let's see. Again, random. Yeah. Okay, so let's put something underneath before I'm starting gluing. And some glue. I'm using plain white glue. Maybe, just maybe, instead I'll just use the plastic card. It's a little bit more even and less puddles, so that's the only reason I switched to the plastic card. Although, because of the layering and because there is going to be an overlap between the pieces of paper, then I will have to go on top of each piece. Okay, let's see. I'm not sure what is going. Yes, it's not completely aligned with the edges. I will trim the excess later. And no, not this one. I'm leaving the white. I think it's just interesting, and if I don't like it, I can always go over it with something. Right now, I'm just leaving it. So, just making sure I've got enough glue. Yeah. This piece, I'm just trying to make it in a straight line here. All the excess will be cut later on. I'm thinking now that I'm looking at it that I will probably go over all this with something, probably some I'm thinking gold acrylic marker, something like that. Okay, next it's not completely planned. I'm playing with the pieces. and I will change things as I go, or add or whatever. Okay, next I'm going to trim this because I don't want the white that is showing here. I'm going for a torn edges. I'm kind of all over the place today. Sorry. Don't want a lot of this yellow, so I'm just overlapping. Next in the line, I think it was this one. Yeah. Okay, so this is going to be very, very colorful. So much noise from outside. Don't know how it's called. It's like this big truck with the big rotating thing on top of it for mixing concrete. Sorry, don't know how it's called in English. They still haven't finished with the building. The ugly, ugly building that they are building across from my house. Okay, almost. Now for this one. I should probably get rid of the white edges on each painty paper, gel plate, printing, whatever, but I never do. I'm just leaving it as is, and when I'm going to use it, then I'm taking care of it. Okay. Here we go. Looks like a mess, right? It always does. That's the beauty of it, at least to me. Now where did I put the... Here it is. Here is the purple bit. Oh yeah. This is it. Okay, so I'm thinking that I really don't like what is going on here. Yeah. And because I've done this, now I want to add another piece from the yellow, just a little bit, something to play with. Yeah, but maybe... Okay, there's enough glue here, so I'm just smearing it with my finger, and yeah, I'm leaving it be. Now this needs to be dry, or I can move on and make, because I already got a lot of glue here, so let's see. I'm just moving this aside, and let's get rid of all of this mess and more mess that I've done. So I'm flipping it over because that's how I like to do things. I like that it's random, it's that I'm not planning where it goes, and I'm going to just make some this is the trunk, and let's do another one. And another one. I'm thinking 3. Okay, so let's see. I thought about tearing it, but then I figured the edges would be just too much. So I'm just using scissors. One, 2, and 3. Yeah, okay. So it's a little bit difficult to see where I'm gonna put them because I've got all of this and it's making hard to see where the page ends. So maybe very gently I will try, because it's all wet. That's better. still wet, 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 and still I'm gonna try and do it very gently. When it will be dry, I will go and do the fixing if I didn't manage to be precise about this. Good enough. Now I can see what is going on, and let's see. Do I want, now that I'm thinking about it, I haven't done what I said I will do with gold on top in between the pieces, so maybe I should wait for everything to dry. Okay. I don't have a choice. I'm going to wait for everything to dry and then work on the placement of the trunks. I'll be back. Okay, so this is finally dry, and I'm taking just an acrylic gold marker, and I'm just going to go where each piece meets and just go over the torn line very, very easily. Now you can do this with a black permanent marker if you prefer, or white, really up to you. I really like doing this with gold. It's kind of giving an extra detail to the background and not too overwhelming the page, the background. In other cases I would probably use black, but here I think the gold just works well. Now you can do this with a thin line, with a thick line. That's really up to you what you like. Here it almost disappears with this color, but I don't care. It's not only to cover white spaces like this, it just adds to the detailing in the back. I even like the pieces that I've done like out of place. Kind of breaks from the pattern. Yeah, I like it. Okay, so that's my background. Now I want to add some detailing to my trunks. Now I like to have one side of my trunk darker, so I'm taking a 10B pencil. The graphite is softer and darker, and I'm just going to put some on one side of each trunk, and I'm just smearing it very, very easily. You can also use an ink pad if you like, with an eyeshadow sponge, the little eyeshadow sponges. So you can do that if you prefer. I like this because it doesn't make a mess, and this can be found in office supplies. It's not something that you really need to go look for in a craft or art supply store. And even that I'm darkening one side of the trunk, I still can go and just to make my trunk more visible or pronounced on the page, I can still take an ink pad, a black ink pad, and go around like this. You can also take any kind of black permanent marker and go around if that's easier. For all intent and purposes, markers, the tip is like a small ink pad, so it's an option. I'm going all around. It just makes more, it will make the trunk more defined, but you don't have to do it. Again, up to you. And of course I still need to do this one with the pencil. Okay, almost. So I'm done with the ink pad. I always have a black cheap ink pad, no brand, no nothing, just for this kind of jobs, because through time it will wear on this on the pad, and but it doesn't matter when all the only purpose of this is just smudging edges, so I will not use one of my good expensive ink pads to do it. I think, I'm not sure, but maybe this one was bought in a Flying Tiger. So here we go, just smudging. If you don't want to use your finger, you can use this kind of thing, a stump, if you want to use this to smudge the pencil. You see, I'm moving very quickly. It really doesn't matter, especially that you smudge it. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Yeah, I want them like this. I don't want to center them or to make anything even. So now I'm just going to glue them to my page. Just for the sake of quickness, I'm using silicone glue. I like that it's a strong glue and that it's quicker to dry, at least from white glue. Here we go. I've got an edge here that didn't stick. In about a minute it will be almost dry, but I can still move it so if I need to correct the placement. So my page is a little bit curvy from all the glue. There is, even if it, for the touch it feels like dry, there is still like inside the paper a little bit of moisture from the glue. So once it's completely dry and flattened by the other pages, then it would be okay. Here we go. Okay, so now I want to add some little branches, and I'm just going to take a black permanent marker and go from, I need a little bit thicker, at least here. And yeah, something like that, quite random. Don't know if it's really needed, but I don't know, I felt like I want to add some little branches sticking out. Yeah. I don't know how much of it is, how much it is seen with all that is going on here, but it's here. I like it. And now I want to ink around the edge. I think it will bring everything together. So once again, just using the ink pad. It doesn't have to be, again, it doesn't have to be the ink pad. And if you don't want to ruin a good ink pad, just take the little sponges of a eyeshadow and use that. Oopsie. Let's see. Also, if you've got little brushes like this one, this is again something from a cosmetic store. I can go like this. So all kinds of ways to go about it. And you can go in as much as you want or as little as you want. Like I like my corners to be darker, so I'm going in a little bit more. Really up to you. And I can add more if I want to on the inside. I've got a bit here that is not glued. There is always a corner that misses the glue. Okay, really like it. Now I want something here. I want some words, and I don't know what because I haven't planned on it. So I'm going to switch off for a, so I will go and find something appropriate for this. I'll be back. Okay, so went looking for something, nothing worked. No, if the words worked, the background didn't work. So I went and took one of my stamps. This is from Stamperia, and I've picked the one that says follow your dreams. And well, if this scene is not something out of a dream, I don't know what is. So what I've done is just stamped it on another painty paper that I had. I just went looking for something that is not solid color and still that it won't, I didn't want white because white would have taken the stage, let's say so, on this page. I wanted something quite neutral. So that's what I'm going to put here. And so I stamped it, cut around, and also inked around the edges. I'm just going to put some glue stick in the back. This painty paper was, I think it was made, I just crumpled it and sprayed it and let it dry while crumpled, and that's how the ink went into all this. Just if it's interested in to you to know how it was made. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's if it's straight. Maybe okay. Now I'm happy, and this is it. That's my page. I really like it. It's very simple to do with any kind of paper that you have. So I hope you will try it and have fun. So thank you for watching, and thank you for leaving me comments down below. I'll be seeing you in my next video. Bye for now.